The debate of which is better, Java or Bedrock, is notorious. On one hand, you have a version which has unlimited customizability without having to spend a penny after you bought the game, but it requires a pretty beefy computer run. On the other hand, one is much more user-friendly, is optimized for much higher performance, and it has cross-platform play between basically any console, phone, or PC. But it's really hard to mod, and if you want to have a skin, you'll have to pay for cosmetics. Each version has its own little quirks that makes it different from one another. If they're the same game but on different platforms, it'd be fine, but if you were to switch someone's versions, they would immediately be able to tell. This could be easily fixed by adding all features missing from one version to the other, but we can't do this for everything. If you were to add Bedrock Redstone to Java, then all the Java players would get mad because all their years of Redstone would be gone, and many well-known glitches that players love would be gone. On the other hand, if you added Java Redstone to Bedrock, then you would have players being frustrated that their Redstone is not buggy, being broken by the glitches used by the Java players. If you want to see some examples of these inconsistencies, watch Purpler's video on it. Mojang has been slowly bringing parity between these two by adding features that the other doesn't have, but this isn't working. Mojang needs a solution to bring the two versions together without angering one another. My proposition is to have both Java and Bedrock features in both versions, with toggles when making the world. This could mean that Java and Bedrock editions could have both versions of Redstones. They could call the Bedrock Redstone Modern and call the classic version Java. For Java, the default Redstone would be Classic, but for Bedrock, it would be Modern. Some other feature that could use this is to add the 1.8 style of PvP back into Java, and then add the new style of PvP to Bedrock. Features like these could be called world rules, being able to be switched on at any time by the owner of the world, not requiring cheats to be on. Some current game rules that could be put in there are lava making full sources like water does, or having phantoms not spawn. But other things like random tick speed and no fall damage could stay in the cheat section. This could also prevent players from being ashamed of cheating, when in reality they just don't really like phantoms. This would allow Bedrock players learning Redstone to watch Java tutorials, and then they could be told to turn on the switch, and then the contraption that they built would work fine. This would still allow the players knowing Bedrock mechanics to keep their farms how they have it. Actually, if these things are implemented well enough, then there could be crossplay in between platforms, but that's a long time in the future. Some problems with this implementation, that this would also be really hard to implement because you'd have to rewrite Redstone for both versions. But this is the only solution that fixes everything without breaking either side's mechanics. I've been using Redstone for an example throughout this video, but there are hundreds of things that they would need to add toggles for, and there's no way to do them all. Even with these difficulties, something needs to happen, as developing two versions of the game is obviously slowing down progress. That was a shorter video, but it was something that I wanted to talk about. If you like watching this kind of content, then consider subscribing, because I have more coming.